Hi everybody, and welcome to the final module of the course. Nothing new is presented in this module, but I will take a few moments to talk about just some final reminders in case you have let something slip through the cracks of your awareness. We all do that, and there's a lot of final threads to tie up here at the end. So the things that are due at the end, we have a 1 week window for this final module. Basically, the point of it is for you to submit your field experience documentation. And that consists of two things. The field experience reflection, which is a 4+ paged essay about what you experienced and your reactions to it, and you're pulling it back into some of the topics that we have addressed this semester. So I'm a little nervous about you guys submitting this stuff because this is not, if you don't submit it properly, it's not something I can protect you from. You won't pass the class without these two things. And that timesheet, that field experience timesheet filled out properly with the signature of the supervisor every single time. No blank spots. It needs to be legible. It needs to be turned in, to the right place. So my recommendation is, if you're waiting till the last week of the semester, that is the April 15th to April 21 week, to turn this in, and you want to mail it, you want to get it to me in person in physical hard copy, then I recommend that you drop it in the mail by the end of the day on Tuesday, April 16th. So at the very beginning of that module, basically, get it in the mail so that I have it. I'll have it within a few days. If you do that, I should have it by Friday. At the very latest, I should come in on Monday and find it here, the week after that final module ends. So that would be good. But dropping it in the mail Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday, we don't have Sunday service, but that kind of thing is going to cause problems in terms of final grades. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put this off. And I think I've been obsessively warning you guys about this particular thing all semester, so please don't do this. Please do it well and attend to it properly. I would recommend, though, that you just scan your document as a PDF and submit it right into the Dropbox, and you won't have any issues that way. Well, you probably won't. And whatever you do, don't throw away the paper. Wait till the semester's over and you've got your grade, okay? If you mail it, of course, you want to take a picture of it before you mail it, a legible, clear picture as a backup. There's no reason to ditch the paper till you've got your grade. That's your evidence. So keep it. So you've got the field experience log that just showed that you were physically attending your sessions, your 10 hours of field experience. Make sure it's 10 hours. Make sure it's not 9 or 9.5 or 7 or 2. It's 10 or more. That would be good. I think it's an all or nothing kind of thing. Make sure you've got signatures every time. It's clear to read. And I'm sorry to just be obsessing over these details and repeating myself, but I just need to make sure that you know this. All right, the reflection, I think that I've found that you guys are excellent writers in this class. For the most part, I really enjoyed, and I haven't had sort of essay style writing to grade very much since I was a 12th grade English teacher about 10 years ago. And I did not think that I would have missed it, but I've actually really enjoyed reading your essay. So I'm not worried about that. Just make sure that you take the time, that you flesh out what you're trying to say, you give some examples from your field experience of the things that we've talked about in the class that and I've only asked you to select 2 to 5 topics that we've covered in the class, because you're not going to see everything that the book has covered in your field experience. You will not have seen everything, but there might be a few things that you can focus on. So we've got a template that you can use for that. Make sure you go back and check out the instructions. They give you detailed guidance on how to do these last things. So that's where we're at. It's been a great semester. I've really enjoyed getting to know you guys through the discussion boards and through your writing and through your multimedia presentations that you've done, the blogs and prezzies. And I hope that this class has allowed you to reflect on what it is to work in the K-12 school, whether it's a speech-language pathologist or a teacher. Part of the point of this class is to open your eyes, make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. I'll be quite honest. You do have choices. If you have any hesitation, you need to keep exploring whether this is the option for you, because teaching is very challenging, and not only do you have to be passionate about it, but you have to be willing to apply yourself to the science of teaching. Like, everybody always talks about passion, 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 but you also need to be organized, and you need to be willing to set goals and meet them, show up on time, all that kind of stuff. It's not enough just to be passionate. I agree with that idea that you should be excited about what you're doing, and you should like children for sure. But don't let those claims that passion is the only thing. There's more to it, as you can see. It's complicated. You should be willing to learn about it, willing to grow with the profession, and it's a profession that will allow you to do that. It'll always be a challenge, I think, for most people. It's not something you can just sort of sit back and relax, and it's not like some jobs. So it's complex. I hope this class has sort of opened your eyes to that, and that you'll keep exploring it. And most of you will probably continue into teacher education. Maybe some of you might think, this might not be for me. But at the same time, I'm not trying to scare you away, but you just need to keep exploring it, And my father was a doctor. He still is, actually. He's in his 70s. He's probably about to stop working. But he said that it took him about 20 years, 10 or 20 years to figure out how to do his job right. He was very well trained. He went to a great medical school. He had a great residency, all this kind of thing. And so he should be a good doctor, right? Well, he said no, it takes 10 or 20 years to actually get into what you're doing. So many of you are young, and you think that if you apply yourself for a year that you should know what you're doing, or it should come easy at that point. But sometimes something like teaching, which not everybody recognizes how complex, or probably speech-language pathology, same thing. It takes time and practice, so don't be scared away from it just because it's not easy. It is not easy, but it's intriguing, it's stimulating, it's fun, it's challenging, sometimes it's frustrating. I'll be quite honest with you. It's a lot of work, so just keep learning everything you can about it as you go into it. All right, and so maybe I'll see some of you in a later class. I teach MEDT 34-1 a lot of the time, so maybe I'll see you in that. That's a technology class that you can take at any point, probably once you enter teacher education. So let me know if you have any questions. As I told my other class, I'm sure that I'll make at least one mistake in the grading. Not a fatal mistake, like I wouldn't just give somebody an F without going and checking out how I arrived at that calculation. That's not the kind of mistake I'm talking about, but little things. If you're finding a Dropbox is left unattended, you've submitted something, but I am ignoring it, feel free to send me a message, ask questions. Lots of questions at this point, lots of communication. Don't just pop up the Wednesday before graduation with a big crisis, okay? We can settle this now. We can resolve this, get these problems solved now. All right. Thank you so much, and keep in touch with me as we wind up the semester and after. All right. Thanks.